It's a very delicate subject because I was not able to be there as much as I would have liked to be. And part of that I hold myself hostage for because I feel like it's my fault, even though it has been told directly to me that the relationship between me and her was deliberately hindered and altered out of spite. We're closing out February, so we're still talking about self-care, self-love, and getting over traumas. It's your boy Sean. Welcome to Phitted. Still segueing from the last video with my boy Trey, we're going to talk about the same book, What Happened to You, by Dr. Bruce D. Perry and Oprah Winfrey. Remember Trey was talking about page 29. I watched the video very intently. This was a good one. Okay. So I'm going to read something from that page also. For years, you've been telling me that the earliest experiences have the biggest impact because that is when the brain is most rapidly growing. I agree with this statement. Some of my earliest memories are a lot of good ones. Some I wouldn't categorize them as traumatizing, but in reading the book, I'm audio reading it, by the way. In reading the book, it does make you think about some of your earliest memories and whether they've affected you in a good way or a bad way. Trey talked about having abandonment issues. I don't know what to categorize. One of the issues I know that I deal with, but one of my earliest memories is of my father driving a red and white Cadillac. Long white car, white leather seats, bucket seats with the front seat that slide forward. So I think it was like a 60-something Cadillac. I don't know why he still had it. But anyway, I remember seeing him, me and my mom talking to him in front of his house. And him, I couldn't have been no more than maybe 4 or 5. At the most 6. Doubt it though. And they had a conversation. He spoke to me, we talked a little bit. And I remember him driving away. And from that moment, I think that was like the last time I saw him until I was in my 20s. I have an issue with that I know I deal with my own kids, because I have a hard time, even though I put on a good front, I have a hard time leaving them. And then I know for a fact that this issue has plagued me, because sometimes, even if, the mother of my children isn't attempting to harm me, I want to protect myself and my kids at all costs. So I never want to be too far away. I've had to deal with issues of being too far away from my oldest, but it's made me put up with a lot of stuff that I probably wouldn't have if I didn't feel that form of abandonment a long time ago. And I told myself, even growing up as a kid, that, I'm going to be this certain type of man. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, based off of that little bit of trauma of knowing that that person was there and decided to leave and never come back. I have fashioned my life on, if I'm not anything else, I am a good father. I don't always get it right, I'm not perfect, but I try my damnedest to be the epitome of what a good father I think is supposed to be, even though I don't know what that is, because I don't have one. I didn't have one. You don't think about, even as a kid, you don't think about those traumas. Even as a father, I am very aware of whatever trauma I might be causing on my kids. even if it's unintentional. If the relationship didn't work out with my kids' mothers, I make it a point to be as close as possible, do as much as possible to not make them feel like they're doing it by themselves, or to make it seem like I want praise for something that I'm supposed to be doing. You know, it's caused me in some cases to be depressed or even have anxiety about, picking my kids up, not seeing them as much as I think I should. Having an organized schedule on when I can and cannot see them, or when I should be giving them to their mother or taking them from their mother. When I don't have them, I still feel an anxiety of like I'm abandoning them when they themselves are perfectly fine with the schedule. My youngest two will easily be like, it's almost like it's ingrained in them to be happy. Oh, we got two houses. We can go to mommy's house or we can go to daddy's house. But to hear that statement, even though I know it's not in a sense a bad thing, it cuts. Just thinking about like they haven't seen the cohesiveness of a family together, their dad with their mom. They know I still love their mother and I treat her with all dignity and respect, but it still touches with me. Then with my oldest daughter, it's a very delicate subject because I was not able to be there as much as I would have liked to be. And part of that I hold myself hostage for because I feel like it's my fault, even though it has been told directly to me that the relationship between me and her was deliberately hindered and altered out of spite. I still feel guilty even to allow someone to be able to do that to me and her relationship, and we don't have the relationship I would like us to have even now to this day. So the book is very telling about the smallest things that you would never think of, or you don't even realize you remember from such an early age as 4 or 5. Like Trey said, with his dad leaving to go to the military at 4 or 5 years old. That one little note of a moment that, to some may seem insignificant, can funnel your life or your thought process into a way that hinders you later on in life or makes you feel guilty about things that you probably shouldn't feel guilty about, as if you did something to someone when you're not doing that thing. Self-love, self-care takes you to a different place when you actually do the work. When you attempt to do the work to dissect yourself, to look yourself in the mirror and say, okay, I am not perfect. Whether I want to admit it or not, I may need to dig deep and see what else is going on with me or why I make some of the decisions I make. Now, don't get me wrong, everything doesn't go back to something being traumatizing and everything is not bad. But there are some things that, you do for good reasons because you were traumatized or because we were traumatized from childhood. Everything leaves an imprint on you. And like she said in the book, at an early age, kids are sponges. And what you do to them will dictate how they decide to operate later on in life. So, you want to get that deep. You guys, I swear. But now, that being said, let's talk about the challenge. Have you been doing all of the things you're supposed to? You remember what you're for? Yoga, meditation, and journaling, affirmations, fasting, doing something nice for yourself. I have been doing my yoga and meditation and journaling. I actually found an app, and I am so mad that right now I cannot think of the app it is that I use. But I also use my voice memos on my phone to have a word journal, because sometimes I don't feel like writing everything down. For as fasting, my fast has been a little different than what most people normally would do. I've been fasting from any negative thoughts about myself, encompassing with the affirmations. I tell myself something nice about myself every time I seem to think I'm having a bad thought about myself. That is how I've been able to do the affirmations and fast from bad thinking. I haven't been doing too good on doing something for myself every week, but if I say so myself, actually doing my yoga, meditation, and journaling, and doing my affirmations is doing something nice for myself every week. I need that pick me up. Even if I'm getting love from other places, I still need to self-love and self-care for me. That is my way of doing something nice for myself, even though I want some shoes and a bracelet, and a few other things. But remember, fellas, we're doing giveaways. So, giveaway is 250 followers on Instagram, first 100 subscribers on YouTube. We got some good stuff. So, become a subscriber, become a follower. It'll be worth your while. Talk to you later, fellas.